Hey, what's going on? Week 3, here we go. It's the Golden Tamale Report. Let's start off with the winners. I'm your host, El Kamish, coming at you. This week had a theme, and it was brother versus brother. And so we'll start with the closest game of the week, which ended up to be a tie between the Perez brothers. What you know about that? Tony Perez scores 99, and mixing it up, Javier Perez also scores 99. It was kind of some bad luck there on Tony's behalf. Tony needed 20 points and had Lamar Jackson going, who can do 20 points all by himself, and also his running back, and yet falls just 1 point short and scores 19 points to end up in a tie with Javier Perez, and definitely in the game of the week. The other brother versus brother matchup includes Raleigh versus big brother Carlos. No Mames Way loses 105 to 147 to Ah Made You Look. The game was actually not as close as the score indicates, even though that's a pretty big gap. At one point, Raleigh was down 84 points, but a big game by Patrick Mahomes on Monday night closed that gap and made it just a little bit more respectable for Raleigh. Raleigh avoids getting the No Vales Madre trophy because of Patrick Mahomes and what he did. The third brother versus brother matchup pits Javier Laura versus Jaime Laura. Chubby Chasers score 114 and Thug Nasty scores 93. And again, Monday night was helpful to Jaime. He closed that gap a little bit and had Javier nervous for a while. Hill was going off, and but in the end, Javier pulls through. The other matchups include our league leader, Alonso Trejo versus Danny Trejo. And that's right, it's Alonso Trejo, our league leader, not Danny, who's 3-0 with the win over Machete Kills. Also, Alonso changes his name to Kamara Kai Dojo and scores 116 and beats Danny's Machete Kills team, who scores 93 points. Alonso is our only perfect player right now, 3-0, and sits atop of the Trejo division all by himself. The other matchups end up being really good. We have Josh Dennis versus David Bacon. This side of hell ends up with a big win over Bacon, makes it better, 112 to 83. Josh has actually started off really, really well, scoring a lot of points, and his week 1 loss was he came up just short, but he's right there knocking on the door of the playoffs. The last matchup is the bottom of the barrel matchup, and that pits Mark versus Abel, both who did not have a win prior to this week. Mark falls just short, 84-86 to Abel, and Abel gets his first win and gets out of the cellar. And Mark and Raleigh right now are the only ones that still need a win going into week 4. I think they play each other, in week 10. So hopefully by then, if they don't have any wins, maybe they can get one then. So right now, looking at the standings, we'll start in the Trejo division because that's where our leader's at. Alonso Trejo, Kamara Kai Dojo, 3-0, scoring 321 points total. Second place right behind Alonso is Carlos Trejo. I Made You Look. Carlos right now has the league high points wise at 381. Josh Dennis is at third place, right below Carlos, same record. This side of hell, 344 points. And then Danny and David are 4th and 5th with 1 win and 2 losses. And then at the bottom of the Trejo division is Raleigh, No Mames Way, who is mamando right now with 0 wins and 3 losses. To Raleigh's credit though, he scored 316 points, which if he was in the lower division right now would be leading both the Perez brothers, who have 300 and 290 points. On the lower division side, we do have 2 co-leaders. Javier Perez is actually 1 notch above Tony Perez just because of the points, but both are 2-0-1. And in third place right now are Chubby Chasers, Javier Laura, 2-1, and then Jaime and Abel Laura are 1 and 2. And then at the bottom of the lower division, we have Mark Terry with 0 and 3. So if the playoffs were to start today, our number 1 seed is Alonso Trejo. Congratulations, Alonso. Javier Perez gets the number 2 seed. Tony Perez gets the number 3 seed. And moving into that 4 seed is Carlos Trejo, I Made You Look team. And that's if the playoffs were to start today. So let's give out some trophies. We'll start with the good. The Hot Tamale Trophy goes to Carlos Trejo, scoring a league high for this year so far, 147 points. He also gets the biggest beatdown giver of award, scoring 42 points with a 42-point victory over little brother Raleigh. And then the MVP, it was going to be a trifecta, but Monday night, Patrick Mahomes steps up and takes it away from Carlos's Russell Wilson. He scores 51 points, and Patrick Mahomes had a great game for Raleigh, although it wasn't enough to get the win. The bad trophies. The No Vales Madre Trophy this week goes to David Bacon. David scores 83 points and sets a new high for the No Vales Madre Trophy, but still he earns his way into the lowest points for the week, just edging out Mark at 84 and Abel at 86. But still he earns that trophy. The No Mas recipient of the biggest beatdown goes to Raleigh, getting beat by 42 points. And again, it could have been so much worse. Don't feel too bad for Raleigh though. He did leave 76 points on his bench, so he needs some better management there. I think he needs to take that away from Preston and do it himself, kind of what our league leader did with his son. And took it away, that GM duties from him, and took it back. The MVP trophy, that's the player with the most points that sat on the bench, is Aaron Rodgers this week, Jaime's Thug Nasty team. For those of you that need a quarterback, David Bacon, a few others, I'd be giving Jaime a call and I'd be harassing him on the trade line or wire, and I'd be bugging him. He's in need of a running back. Saquon Barkley went out, so if you have a decent running back, I'd put a package together and see if he'll listen. So all right, that ends up being our week 3. Congratulations, some really good games. One little footnote, we did have a tie this week. This is something that usually happens once a year, and it's a situation where in the regular season, the tie ends up being a tie, and both players get half a game. So that usually does affect the playoffs. For example, had one of them lost, Javier Laura would have jumped over the loser because he did have more points. But because of the half a game lead, both the Perez brothers made the playoffs. If a tie happens during the playoffs, there is a tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker is your bench points. So that's something to remember come playoff time, and to remember to load up your bench in case of a playoff. So all right, that's it. See you guys next week.